3, 2, 1, resolved. Hi, welcome to 3, 2, 1, resolved.
I didn't say anything.
I know. We were just talking about you not holding up your end of the bargain.
All right. Let's roll it back.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of 3, 2, 1,
Resolved.
I'm Lance.
I'm Dave. Great to have you here. Thank you for listening to us, and thank you for wasting part of your day for us.
And it will be a waste. It will be a waste.
I was going to come out swinging with a question today because I thought of it on the way over. What is something that you did today that nobody else in the world would have done outside of Australia? Like something Australian,
like an Aussie thing
that when you think about it, nobody else would have done.
Well, I only really did one thing today. I went to Bunnings,
Good.
which is
It must be Sunday then.
yeah.
yeah.
Which they I got a Bunnings snag.
Yeah, great. That's a staple of an Australian cultural pastime.
Yeah, it is. But it's actually a fantastic example because I recently had a discussion online after a couple bottles of wine with some Australian and Canadian, some American and Canadians.
Okay.
I was playing a game and I was in a lobby and I was just chatting to them. And I mentioned a Bunnings snag. And I swear all of them at once just got dumbfounded. And they were like, what is that?
Because that sounds so normal to
Yeah.
me. Bunnings snag.
Bunnings snag.
I'm in.
Right? Yeah, Bunnings
Pick me up.
Hangover? Bunnings snag.
Bunnings snag.
Yeah.
Never say no to a Bunnings snag.
Never, ever. And I started explaining to them what a Bunnings snag is. And I swear it was as if I was speaking hieroglyphics. They were like, this is insane, mind blown, never heard of this sort of concept before. And then I started going into a bit more of what they are. I was like, yep, and for any viewers that are not Australian, I probably should start explaining what we're talking about. Bunnings is like our version of Home Depot. They are a warehouse where you buy all your home wares, garden, that sort of stuff.
Any excuse, right? You're
Yeah.
like, I got to go to Bunnings.
Yeah.
I'll have to go to Bunnings for
Need
that.
some nails, got to go
yeah.
to Bunnings.
yeah. Oh, we do the washing today. Oh, we better go to Bunnings.
Need some fake grass, got to go to Bunnings. Doesn't matter what it is.
Need a new kennel, don't have a dog, still should go to Bunnings though.
Yep, go to Bunnings. Need to buy some teepee torches? Bunnings.
Bunnings, it's summer.
Bunnings sells everything. They sell everything. But they also sell snags, which in Australia means a sausage on bread.
Simple, right?
So simple. So simple. And they not only that, but they sell it out of a gazebo at the front of every Bunnings. Now, just to clarify, this isn't a temporary thing. This has been going for years.
You can plan your day around it.
You can.
Yeah.
But they still just use gazebos. They still use tents. There is no foundation.
I never thought about that.
There's no foundations for them.
There's no permanent fixture.
No, they could put up, a little booth.
That's probably part of their pool, is that people think that at any moment that could be pulled down.
Yeah, but as well as that too, it is for charity. At the end of the day, it's set up by Bunnings for charity, for local charities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like $2, I think. $2.50. I'm not sure. $3.
I
don't care.
You
I
need
just
to add
shut
cost
up and
of
take my
living
money.
now.
Shut up and take my money. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
But I was explaining this to the foreigners, and they were like, "This is just nuts. This is so crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, well, you have Home Depot and you have Costco, and they sell they have their own cafe built into it." And they're like, "Yeah, but it's not in a tent." So that's fair, okay. Well, funnily enough, even though it's for charity, somebody sued them a couple years ago.
Rough.
And
Why would you go after that?
I had to justify myself by sending them links to the stories about this being actually true.
The people you're talking to.
Yeah, the people talking to, they were like, I don't believe you, this can't be true. I was like, yes, it is true. Somebody sued Bunnings for putting onion on top of the sausage instead of underneath the sausage.
Wait, hang on.
You know about this, right?
Yeah, is this the slip hazard thing?
The slip hazard thing, yeah. A while back, somebody got a Bunnings snag, walked into Bunnings, the onion that they'd ordered fell from on top of the sausage, and then they tripped on it. So they sued Bunnings. They won.
We went from so cool to so uncool.
Yeah, they won. So now legislations have been put in place. So Bunnings has to put the onion underneath the sausage.
That is mind-blowing that politicians spent time out of their day in
Right.
Parliament to put that to the floor and say, we need to put this in place.
That went to a vote. That did, yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, so the Americans and Canadians couldn't get their head around. So you're right. That's probably an example.
Yeah. I mean, they did. They got around it, but they were just dumbfounded. And to be fair, I had a bit to drink. I was probably not explaining it as well as I did just then.
You're probably in the mood for a budding snag, if anything.
I was livid, actually. It was coming off the bat of a bad computer session, and I had some keyboard rage that was expelling out of me in vocal terms in a group chat.
At the end of the day, were they interested? Did you sell them a bunning snag? Were they about it?
Well, they know what sausage on bread is.
You could, yep.
They know what sausage on bread is. That sausage
It's
is
so futuristic.
I know, right? But yeah, the whole concept of having their Home Depot sell sausages on bread out of a tent at the front of the place almost every day for a charity, and then having that charity get sued, they couldn't.
Yeah, I'm almost offended that Americans couldn't get their head around that. What the stuff that happens there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a really cool example. I never even thought about that, but it's such an Australian institution to go for a bunning snag, and that wouldn't be done anywhere else in the world.
No. What about you? What do you reckon? Another example of things that you did recently that wouldn't be done in a different country?
You've put me on the spot. I don't have anything.
No, never mind. Bunning snags it is.
We talked about that. I wanted to point out how you're doing a great job at pretending to hide that you have a cold.
I'm not doing the best right now, but Judy calls.
Apart from your cold, how is the rest of your week?
Okay. I have more to
I've triggered you. I didn't even expect that.
I got a fine this week. Well, no. I got a fine that arrived in the mail this week. It was actually from last week for parking in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
So in some areas of Australia, again, I have no idea if they are overseas. I haven't looked into it. I got a fine for parking in a car park and reverse parking in instead of forward parking in.
Oh, that kind of wrong direction. I
Yeah.
thought you meant against the flow of the traffic. And I was like, no, that's on you.
No, I'm not a maniac. No.
Okay, so you didn't back it up.
I backed it up.
Oh, you backed it up.
I should not have backed
You showed
it up.
off.
Yeah.
And you got a fine for it.
Yeah, I don't know how to forward park. I have so much more control over reverse parking cars. It's just...
Driving out after being in a car park is so much safer.
Yeah, driving, reversing in is also, in my opinion, safer because you have control of the actual pivot of the car instead of the pivot point being inside the car park where you can't move it as much. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me, right?
Do I want to know how much it was?
$387.
$387.
$387 because I didn't pay it on time.
Was it sent to you as a letter in a letterbox, like the 1800s?
Yeah, it was. It was. There was a ticket on the car when I first got back to the car.
that'll do it.
And I've pulled it off. I then looked around. I saw a sign. I've cursed. I've sweared. I've waved it. I tore it up, which is also illegal, by the way. Got in my car and then drove back to Brisbane. Now, in some places, I can understand this when you're on a main road, but this was in a isolated car park next to a shopping centre up in Noosa.
That's Noosa. Should have known.
Noosa, yeah. I told this to somebody else, and they said, "Oh, Noosa, that makes sense."
That's not okay.
No, it's not okay. But it got me thinking: what other laws are just dumb?
Now,
I've done some research.
Yeah. Oh, I know of. Okay, so there's one in the UK where it's illegal to walk your cow through the streets in the day. Right?
The day.
The day.
That's the weirdest part about that.
Right? Because it's okay to do it at night.
Yeah.
Take Daisy down to the pub.
Right.
In the middle of the night, but you can't do it in the day. And then there was another in America where you can't, I think it's in Arizona, you can't send unsolicited pizza to people.
You can't, what's that called? Pizza pranking.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
It sounds like it's a result of something, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're like, that's it. We've had too many people getting too many pizzas. You need to make a law and get rid of the Ninja Turtles because they keep...
Stop, Master Splinter. I've had enough.
Yes, Sensei, please.
Well, actually, I can think of one part of that kind of makes sense is the fact that if you order a pizza online and say cash at the door or payment at the door, so pizza companies have made, you know, I'd like to order 20 pizzas to so-and-so's house. I'm going to pay at the door. So they rock up at this house and they got 20 pizzas and they go, well, we haven't been paid for this yet.
I knew of like a messed up prank. We can edit this out if it's not kosher. Where people would order pizza to murder scenes where like the police were on the job.
Oh, like
and they'd walk past and they'd call a pizza in. And the poor pizza kid would rock up.
That's
2 barbecue supreme.
That's funny, yeah.
It's messed up.
But that's like trauma to the pizza guy, right?
Yeah. Welcome to the real world, kid. But you've done some research.
I wasn't good enough to have these off the top of my head like you are. I wasn't expecting so much contribution to this topic. But all right. This is a fairly new law, but fun fact, in Australia, releasing balloons into the environment is now illegal. This is as of a 2017 act, Section 115 of an environmental protection law.
Honestly, I can get around that.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? Gender reveals. Balloons, everything.
When are they going to go away?
It just goes and kills a bunch of animals.
Yeah, exactly.
Hits planes.
It's one of those laws where you're like, why didn't we get rid of that sooner?
Now that law, you know, there's certain things that can make sense. The next one is that fortune telling was illegal up until very recently. But that law was instated, and this can make sense a little bit, in 1923. And this is Act 57. Act 57.
That's a low number, right? That's pretty new in the Constitution.
To me, that means it's a fairly, 1923.
Yeah.
10 grand's worth of imprisonment and 2 years.
If you did what?
If you got caught fortune telling. Fortune telling.
Obviously, they never got caught because they knew.
No, I'm not too...
Why don't you appreciate my joke?
I'm sick, all right? I'm barely present.
You're not a fortune teller because you didn't see that coming.
Couldn't have predicted that.
Please continue.
I'm not sure what part of fortune telling it is, like tarot cards or... like
prove it's fortune telling, right?
Ball. Yeah.
Because if it doesn't come true, it's not really telling you fortune.
We're playing poker.
Yeah, like if they were like, don't walk down the street at 8 o'clock at night, you're going to hit by horse and cart, and it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Didn't tell you fortune, did I?
Hey, I bet you wouldn't walk down the street at night towing your horse and cart.
Will that be all, officer?
We're just playing what are the odds. All right. There was another one. There's a couple here that some people might not be aware of, but in Australia, voting is compulsory and you can get a fine for it. It's not a massive fine, but it is a genuine law. There was another one that I found, which is if you have possession of more than 50 kilos of potatoes.
Okay. Yeah. Just hang on, I'm just thinking back to my pantry. No, I'm all good.
Yeah, register that one. Make sure you're not breaking the laws here. You can get a $2,000 fine, up to $5,000 if you have an excess of 100 kilos of potatoes, and 3 years in jail.
This is a current law.
Current law. You can guess the year if you'd like.
That it was instated.
Yeah.
I'm thinking potato famine, right?
Yeah, right.
In Ireland, is that what we're talking about?
This is in Australia.
I know, but like I thought that might have had a ripple effect, a crinkle cut effect.
Possibly. It's in the 19s. It's in the 19s.
The 19s. I'm going to say Great Depression. Like, you could not hoard food back then.
1946.
End of World War II. Things were good. Not for potatoes.
Not for potatoes. Section 22 of the Marketing of Potatoes Act.
And it's still current.
Still current.
A law that was introduced at the end of World War II about potatoes and storage and how many you can have is still current in 2023.
50 kilos of possession.
50 kilos.
If we can plant, pun intended, 100 kilos on somebody, they can go to jail for 3 years. So if you've got any enemies...
But you didn't hear it from us.
No. If you've got any enemies and access to 100 kilos of potatoes...
And you live within 4 Woolworths...
Yeah. And you have a spare $3,000 because we're in a pretty bad economic crisis right now. You can put somebody away for up to 3 years.
That is a stupid law.
I've got one more.
Okay, go.
That I think you'll find quite entertaining. Offering a reward with a no questions asked statement is illegal. 1953, Section 48A B of the Summary of Offences Act.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's illegal. It's up to a $500 fine and a maximum penalty of 6 months.
Give me the scenario.
Somebody has stolen my car,
Mm-hmm.
and if I can get them back, no questions asked, I'll pay you $500.
And that's illegal.
That's illegal. What I
Okay.
just said would be illegal.
That's what's
redacted.
it's the same as organising a hit, right?
Well, yeah. It's saying, hey, I don't care what state this person arrives to me or this item arrives to me or what you have to do to get it. I will not ask any questions as to how you proclaim this item, as long as it is returned to me, and I'll give you money.
If my stolen dog turns back up, no questions asked.
No
Here's your
questions
reward.
asked, yeah.
Can you imagine the trail of destruction behind that person? That
I'm imagining
back?
the reason it exists.
Yeah, bounty hunters, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Okay, so I put this to you then. That was a lot of stupid laws. You're prime minister for one day, and we can only take out one of those laws.
PM for one day.
Yep, you're a prime minister for one day, and you've got those list of laws, and your staff are like, we've got to review these because apparently since 1946, someone has gone over that and said, yep, sign it off, keep it going.
That was a 5-minute Google search as well. Like, I did not do a lot of research into that. I'm sure there is so many more.
I know. We got to start somewhere though.
PM for one day.
One day, and we need to collectively agree on to get rid of one of those.
Well, I hold a grudge to the one that actually affected me. So I'm going to say the reverse parking law. I'm sure somebody is going to comment on our
But
things.
okay, yeah, but we've got way better laws we can get rid of. That's your pick. You're prime minister for 26 million people, and you want to remove a local council law in Noosa.
Yes. I stand by it. It affected me personally, so I don't like it. It needs to go.
No, I disagree. I think you do better. I think.
What would you pick?
So there was the fortune telling, there was the potatoes, and there was the no questions asked, right? Was that all of them?
Yeah.
I keep falling back on the fortune telling. I think that's an absolute scam. I think it's wrong that anyone should ever go into that, and I think people's lives have been ruined because of it.
But that's a law that abolishes it. That says it's illegal. So you'd be for that. If you don't like fortune telling, you'd be for that law.
Oh, okay, we're keeping
Yeah.
it. Saved.
Yeah, okay.
Saved.
All right, we'll rule
Sign that one
out.
off. Sign that one off. Send it
good.
out. Okay,
That
off
can
the
stay.
table. Look, I think the potato one, now that we've brought it back into the light, people are going to start doing it. What we'll do as PM for one day, we'll say it's not for 6 months.
We should.
So you've got 6 months to run amok with your Sebagos and your collar bands and stitch up your mates and call them in.
I have a better idea than that. Not 6 months.
Go.
Once a year, like a purge day, it's legal. Sorry, it's illegal. It's illegal. So once a year on a purge day, you can fine people for that.
Okay, yep.
So you stockpile all year to get yourself 50 potatoes because they're probably like $28 a half a gram right now.
The industry would go through the roof.
Yeah. You stockpile during the year.
Yeah.
And then on, the 5th of May or whatever, what day you pick out, that's the day you go try and stash potatoes on everybody you don't like.
Okay, I think I want to take this one step further, and that the probability of us getting that luxury is not going to happen. So I think we should send a letter to the Prime Minister's office and pitch the idea. We've gone through some of your laws. Here's an idea. What do you think? Do you like that?
I like that idea.
All right.
This is a current law you have.
Yeah.
We would like to just actually make it a law for one day.
Can we modify it?
No questions asked.
That referred to another law, Section 54.
It works.
Right, so we're going to send a letter to the PM's office modifying that law, and we'll get back to the people with a response.
Bold of you to think we're going to get a response,
Well,
but
we
yes.
will. We will.
Okay.
And we will not give up for you. We'll not give up. We'll do this for you. 3, 2, 1. Resolved. Yes.
Fantastic.
I wanted to just double back on what we talked about at the start of the segment at the episode where we talked about things that happen in Australia, nowhere else in the world, made me think about Aussie animals and how in South Africa people go to see the big 5, the top 5 animals that you go to South Africa and you want to tick off your list, which I think are lions, hippos, rhinos, giraffes, elephants.
Okay, yeah.
What are Australia's big 5 or top 5? And do you know what they are?
Meth heads.
Yeah, no, okay. Is that on the hop on, hop off bus?
Can't say that. I don't know what we have. Surely we don't have 5. We have a lot of deadly animals, but you don't come to see that.
No, okay, so kangaroos.
Kangaroos. Yep, we've got kangaroos.
Think of the coat of arms. Kangaroos, emu.
Koalas.
Oh, yeah, them.
Yeah, drop bears.
I just assumed they're extinct by now.
Speaking of, Tassie Devils.
Oh, yeah, Tassie Devils. There's 4. One more. Kangaroo, koala, emu, Tassie Devil.
Tassie Devil.
Platypus. I wonder what platypus.
Platypus.
It's a freaking sick animal.
Platypus
Mammal.
is cool. There's a lot of facts about them that not a lot of people know, right?
Yeah, like they lay eggs.
They're the only mammal to lay eggs. Not
Yeah,
mammal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen all those 5 animals in the wild?
The wild?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen 4 of those in the wild. Kangaroos, yes. Kangaroos are everywhere in Australia. Kangaroos are everywhere.
I'm yes to all 5, but it was Australia Zoo.
Oh, yeah. I've seen all of them in a zoo.
Yeah.
I have never seen a Tassie Devil in the wild. I don't actually think I've ever seen an emu in the wild.
Really?
But the other 3, yeah, koala.
Yep.
Oh, I've never seen a platypus in the wild. But I've seen a koala. I've seen a kangaroo. I've only seen 2 of them. That math was not adding up in my head.
Do you think that you are the majority sample of us Australians where we just blindly go in life and realize that?
I think I am the Australian standard for everything. I think I have the most average.
You're offending a lot of people.
Yeah. Half. At least half.
So what are you going to do then about this lack of Australianism in your life? 2 out of 5, not great.
No.
Hey, what are you going to do about it?
I'm going to try and see them more. I reckon we should. You said you've seen all 5 only in the zoo. How many have you seen?
No, actually, no, I've seen platypus in the wild, which was epic. Yeah,
Where?
Tassie.
Tassie?
Yeah.
But not a Tassie Devil?
Not a Tassie devil. I saw a
Just a
Tassie
platypus.
devil in like a sanctuary.
Yeah.
So I think I've seen them all. I just need to take you to come and tick off some of them. Now, I know that where we live in Brisbane, there are platypus in the wild. You can go and see them. We just have to go find them.
Platypus in the wild in Brisbane?
In Brisbane, 100%.
What, in Botanic Gardens?
No, yeah, as in rivers, creeks, they're in the area. They're super obviously elusive, but we can find them.
If we can go on a day trip and you can find me a platypus, if I can sight a platypus, that will be a memory that I will hold forever.
Do you know, I reckon we could go and find all those animals within an hour and a half of Brisbane.
In one day?
We could try.
That'd be a fun thing.
That's a thing.
That's a thing.
We should do it.
We should try and do that.
3, 2, 1. Resolved.
There is one thing that
Stipulation.
I would like to state as well, and that's a lot of people don't know about this. Cassowaries.
Okay, yep.
They are basically a murder emu.
Kind of. I want to be that guy that flushes out the misunderstanding of the cassowary.
Go for
It's
it.
a misunderstood bird. It's super territorial and it has the ability to end you, but they don't go and hunt you down. Or the only reasons you've encountered a cassowary is because it's smelling your food that you've left behind or you haven't picked up properly. Or
They still look like a dinosaur as
you
well.
should stay away from them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are they're statistically the most dangerous bird in the world or the most dangerous flightless bird in the world?
Probably.
one of those, I know that much.
They're built for killing. They just choose not to use that power that
They're
often.
like emus with helmets.
Bone mohawk.
Blue
A bone
emus.
hawk.
Blue and red emus with helmets.
Yeah, they're like an emergency emu.
They're the kind of emu you call when you got a meth head breaking into your house.
Hey, if I was breaking into someone's house and I was greeted by a cassowary, I'm gone.
Yeah. If that's a territorial bird and you're in their territory,
Yeah.
nah.
You should know better.
Yeah, gone.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone, for listening. So make sure you follow us because we've got work to do now. We've got a letter sent to the PM and we've got a day trip to do to go and see all this. We're reconnecting with the country, actually. That's what this episode is about.
Yeah.
So make sure we'll put a link for our socials and whatnot in the notes below.
Start saving potatoes.
Yeah, protect the potato.
No. Hoard the potato. Hoard.
Save the potato.
Save. As in
Store.
Store the potatoes.
Store the potato.
Store the potatoes.
But anyway, thanks so much for listening, everyone. If you made it this far, again, thank you. You've done well. We've got a bit of work. We've talked about a few things. We talked about messaging the PM.
Yep.
And we're going to go see the top 5 Aussie animals.
Dave's going to take me on a life-changing experience in one day. He's going to show me a bunch of animals.
That you've lived in this country, and we might even have a potato while we're out there.
Yeah, store some potatoes, guys.
Store the potatoes.
Stock holding them. All right. See you next week.